Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial, and today's review will be Power Book 3, Season 3, Episode 10, the season finale. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. Now, this is a season finale, so this episode was just okay. It was a season finale. It was just okay. It ended with what someone will call a bang, but it just ended. So let's just get through the episode and the recap. So it starts off, of course, like I figured in the last, if you caught my last recap, when it showed Lou, Marvin, and Rock driving, and like they was making it like they was going to take Lou out to green pastures. Pretty much what took place is they took Lou to a rehab, and there was a heart-to-heart between Lou and Rock because she was in on his session and she thought he just was being weak, but he pretty much told the doctor that she was the most important person in his life, and that touched her heart, that that's her baby brother and he's her heart and he always will be. And so they had a heart-to-heart, and then pretty much she just looked at him and said, get well. She did complain a little bit that it was expensive. So then from there, it shows Marvin at the graves at Gerald's funeral. While he's at the funeral, the FBI agents roll up on Marvin, pretty much letting them know that they on to him, and regardless if Gerald's dead or not, they still gonna get him. So it goes then to Kanan with Crystal, and she says that she's late. Now, a lot of people are speculating, is this where he has his kid? Is not. The date of raising Kanan right now is 1992. Kanan doesn't have his kid until around 1996. And when he has his kid around 1996, he don't go to jail until around 2006. Or whatever. So that's like the timeline so that you can understand that. So, and his baby mom, or Sean's mom, was named Jerika, so it's not Crystal. So from there it goes to Juke linking up with Aisha, and at this moment they're meeting at the park, and the setting of this is 2 weeks from the last episode. So 2 weeks later has transpired, and Aisha hasn't heard from Juke. Juke was pretty much embarrassed that she was walked out of the mall with the feds because of her family situation. And Aisha pretty much is confessing her love for Juke. So she does kiss Juke in that moment. And but Juke at this time is set on going to the army. So when Rock leaves Lou's therapy session, on her way home, she stops at the light. We all seen the trailer. Someone pulls up next to her and just shoot. She was able to pull off before they really get shots off, and it just shot out her back. Meanwhile, at the station, Howard and his union rep is in front of the captain and Tanner, the FBI agent Tanner, and they're questioning Howard. Basically said he's under investigation for thinking that he's tied to Marvin, and he's basically dirty. So they take his badge, pretty much said it's temporary, and the union rep said pretty much we need to compare notes, and the FBI agent said basically if you don't come back in 2 days, I'll be there looking for you and I'll put a warrant out for your arrest, pretty much. So Howard is, trying to defend himself, but they pretty much like, nah, buddy, we serious about you. You got too much connections and dirtiness tied to this. So then it shows Marvin going to see the lawyer, the same lawyer that was representing Rock. So it shows him going to see there, and pretty much he was saying if they didn't lock you up, that means they don't have a full case for you right now. So the lawyer pretty much said that he used his contact to shake some things up, get some information, and the Marvin pretty much made the reference, basically saying, "Hey, we gotta send a message that I ain't to be messed with. That I'm going to defend myself." So, and then it shows Aisha and Juke from the park. They went out to dinner, or lunch rather, and pretty much Aisha told Juke, that she'll wait for her while she's in the army. Juke pretty much said, "No, you won't, and I wouldn't want you to." But it does warm my heart that you was willing to do that, or whatever. So Juke shed a tear, or whatever. So then it goes to Famous going to speak to Kanan at his crib, and then when he get there, he sees Aisha crying. Not Aisha, I'm sorry, Crystal crying because she just told Kanan that she was late on her period. And so Famous told him that his mom got shot at God Brew. They said she got away, but I don't know if she's good. So, of course, that enraged Kanan, pretty much telling Kanan that Ronnie tried to put the hit out on his mom. So at this point, the FBI agents, they went out to see Lou in the rehab and pretty much questioned him, saying what his connection is to Howard. And Lou pretty much just blew him off, said he don't deal with cops, neither does Marvin, and he don't got no business with Howard. So the FBI agent pretty much was like, "Hey, how do basically somebody like yourself can afford this nice place or whatever?" And he basically said, "I drink cheap." So FBI agents, they pretty much checking everybody. And so next from there, you had Rock. Marvin go talk to Rock, and she pretty much said, you need to go talk to Pops. I'm not trying to do a war with my son on the other side, so we need to try to make peace. So that's triggering Marvin to go talk to Pops and Snaps. And when he does, Marvin is pretty much said, we don't have to let it get to war. And pretty much Snaps is saying, well, you got Rock and Ronnie, they two hotheads, they ain't gonna be really about peace. So he said from there, what took place that in that meeting, Pops was flirting with Marvin the whole time. And so Marvin wasn't trying to hear that. And when he went and was ready to leave, Snap said, Switzerland's the only one that doesn't go to war until we don't. So it does show a scene where Snaps and Ronnie and Pops is sitting down, and Kanan come bursting through to get at Ronnie about trying to shoot his mom or whatever. And so pretty much Ronnie looked at Kanan like, yo, little boy, you know what I'm saying? So you could tell right there he underestimating Kanan the way he view him. So Kanan was like, basically, I'm not what you think I am. And so he already telling him, you underestimating me, thinking I'm just a little boy. But Kanan's pretty much he already got it figured out in his head that he's a killer, and he ain't afraid. Now he's been showing this all season long that he ain't afraid of Ronnie or whatever, and he use his weaknesses that Ronnie think he's weak against him. Now, from there it goes to Famous The woman that owns the bar is looking for Lou, of course, and all of a sudden the police come storming in Famous house and lock Famous up. They go down to the police station, find out that the mom found a gun in Famous' room and turn the gun in. Of course, that's the gun that killed Freddie. Famous get in the police station. He don't give up anything. Pretty much said, y'all got nothing. I got that gun off the street for protection and get my lawyer. And so pretty much they said, what's your connection with Howard? He like, give me my lawyer. So least Famous, that's all you see from Famous in the episode. And least Famous ain't dropped a dime like we all thought. So from there, everybody meet up at Rock House, and Howard shows up as well, pretty much telling him what happened with Kanan, and they eventually, from here, they go and see Pops and Snaps. Pops and Snaps tell Rock what the terms is and what Ronnie want. He wants Rock's business, he wants weight, and he wants $500,000. So Rock, in return, she reaches out to Stefano and puts her house up for collateral in the little plaza that she owned in Jamaica, Queens, Southside. And that's the scene where y'all hear Stefano say, pretty much, hope your son know how much you love him. And then Marvin said, I hope he does too. So Stefano said, you'll have the money in an hour. So it shows Kanan, and so I spoke ahead of time. So we all knew Kanan was going to get kidnapped. But Kanan was walking with Juke at the time, and when he was walking with Juke at the time, Ronnie, and telling Juke that pretty much he didn't do that. That was all Ronnie. He didn't have his mom shot at. And then Juke, of course, was telling him that she's going to the army. Of course, the van pulls up, Ronnie's van, pulls the gun out on Juke. She goes and runs to Marvin. Marvin takes her out to Rock House, and then that's when they run into Stefano. So I spoke out of turn with that one. And Howard pretty much said, I want to go with y'all with the drop. This is the last time good I'm going to do for the kid. Make sure that you good, make sure he good. Of course, he's suspended at this time, so he don't got the badge on him. But nobody doesn't know that at the time. So back at the rehab facility, Lou goes out, finds a rope, gets in his feelings, and basically saying to himself that, you know, he's down on his luck and spirit mentally, and he just tried to kill himself, but he didn't. He put the rope around his neck, and then he, you know, start crying, and pretty much didn't go through with it. So Lou is going through something. I think it's going to be a time jump too at the end of this season. So they meet up and get to the meeting spot, and it's just Ronnie. He got two goons. Marvin's there. Rock comes in with Howard. Ronnie wasn't alarmed because Kanan had already told Ronnie who Howard was. So that really much put the defenses down on Ronnie because he knew Howard was a cop. So that puts his defenses down. Now, what you don't notice, and if you go back and watch this episode, or if you're watching this recap before you watch the episode, when they get to this site, you see the camera view is just like, the camera view is Iron Rock and Howard go into this warehouse where Ronnie is, but you don't even know, you're thinking it's just a camera view, but it's showing from the lenses that somebody's watching them or whatever, and then you find out at the end. So they get in there with the facility, and uh, they had this back and forth. They had a dialogue, and then Ronnie reveals he just want the work and the business. He don't want the money. The money's for Kanan. So Kanan was like, "Yeah, the money's for me." Basically, the money's for me, and yeah, I set this up. And they looking at Kanan like, "What?" And so Rock was like, "I hope you know what you doing. I hope you know what you're doing." And so he said, "Yeah, I know what I'm doing." And so at this moment, Rock threw the money down. Ronnie, the fences is down, so he bends down to count the money or look and make sure the money in there. When he does that, Kanan slides up next to him and blow his head off. So Ronnie was out of it. And then right at that moment, now of course, I failed to mention earlier in the episode, Howard kept pursuing and saying Marvin has to take the hit. Marvin got to take the hit. So of course, at this moment, right when Ronnie blew, when Kanan blew Ronnie head off, Rock picked up Ronnie's gun and pointed it at Howard. Howard looked at Kanan like she tripping. You see what I gotta go through? And Rock blew Howard's head off. The goons came in, get ready to shoot. Marvin came behind the goons, shot both of them. So as Marvin, Kanan, and Rock leave the warehouse, you see the camera view is aimed like, now it's lower, and it seems like the camera view is coming from a car, so somebody's watching him. So of course Rock told Kanan, "You coming with us." He tripping because now his dad is officially killed, and they leave off. And then all of a sudden, the camera goes back in the warehouse, and you see boots, somebody walking up, and you see some boots standing over top of Ronnie. And when, of course, when the camera view rises up, it's unique. So we've been talking this from the very first time he died. I said, if you don't see a body, they still alive. Then Joey Badass threw everybody off by coming out saying what he said, saying his character had to, he wasn't supposed to last this long, but it did. He threw everybody off, so we had to take him at the word at the time. But then as time went on, nobody wasn't saying nothing, nobody was saying nothing. I said back in, I think it was last recap or the recap before, I said, nah, he might be still alive because his rumors are circulating. He's still alive. So, of course, this is the confirmation. Unique is alive. So, at the time, I don't know how much time has happened since. So, his face is all scarred up, and it's looking like he only got one eye. But the other eye is completely shut right now. Look like he might have lost the eye. And, but he is still alive, and his face all scarred up. So, what's being looked at is that the rumors are circulating now that because everybody think Unique is dead, he gonna let Unique be dead, but he's gonna actually be Breeze, and this is who gonna really teach Kanan and all them the game, Ghost and all them the game and stuff like that. So we'll see how that play out next season. This season finale was just okay, and at the end, Howard and Ronnie got killed. That's pretty much it. And so now when they was trying to put everything, they're gonna try to put everything on Howard, that he was, because what was he doing at this place? Put everything on him. But what I think they're going to do, the real war, like I mentioned in a couple episodes recap, is that the real war is going to be between Snaps, Pops versus Rock and them. So I think that's going to be the real war. But that's it. The season is over. Now we'll be tuning in to BMF next. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.